Hello. Do I look orange? Yes, I do. I look very orange. Everything looks very hazy. It's very irritating. I'm very annoyed. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. I'm happy to see you. Happy to be here. Also, I'm very fucking annoyed right now. So, yeah, here we are. I can't remember what I did last time to fix it. So, I look like a creamy space orangesicle. You know what? Thanks. Thanks for the clarification. I appreciate it. I almost said, "You know what? Fuck you." But that was aggressive. It's not your fault, now is it? No, it's not. I'm pretty sure I've got a driver issue that I've gotta deal with, so we're just gonna deal with it, okay? We're just gonna deal with it the way that it is. Thank you so much. I mean, for as yellow as I look, my skin looks pretty great. I don't know what kind of filter this is. Oh gosh. Oh, thank you. Aw, shucks. It just is what it is. Okay, we are gathered here this evening to revisit Cameron suing J. Cole. What is he suing him for? I mean, he's kind of suing him for being a dick, allegedly. Good to see you. Hit the like button, share the live. Shout out to all the looters. Shout out to the Seahawks. Shout out to everybody who's going to be at the parade tomorrow. I will not be there. Shout out to all the members and the subscribers. Join us. Appreciate you. Help us get to 20,000. Shout out to all the supporters, the subscribers, all the people in all the places. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. And as always, shout out to the best mod squad on the internet, always holding it down. Oh, okay, all right, I feel a little bit better. I was just not happy. Baby, you ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. The last time there was a Seahawks Super Bowl parade, there was 1 million people down there. So, no, I'm not dealing with that. No, I'm not. I've had my experience. It's great. And I didn't lose my voice. I was just exhausted. So I was in a raspy, tired register, but there was, as I said before, the game was not, we were not nerve wracked over this game when we were watching it. We were just watching the game, eating nachos. You know, my son did a little bit of work. It was that kind of a vibe. He pulled out his laptop. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I've got a deadline." I said, "Okay." Yep, it's intentional. Yeah, I did this on purpose. For sure, for sure. So anyway, yes, J. Cole has responded to Cameron. It's okay. Really, really, it's okay. I just wanna assure anybody who's watching for the first time, it's not usually like this. I don't look like this. It doesn't look like this, okay? Yeah, we're working with what we got. J. Cole, Jermaine Lamar. Does anybody else think that when he comes back, because we know that wasn't it. 'cause it was terrible. Does anybody else think that when he comes back, he's gonna be, Jermaine Lamar instead of J. Cole? I'm just curious, chat, what you think about that as we dive into this document. Um, Jermaine Lamar and Cameron, government names, okay? Cameron Giles are in a business dispute. Cameron has taken it to heart and to the docket, where we love to get the. I just saw J. Cope. Oh, interesting. You think he'll have the period in there in between, like India Ari? That's what I was thinking of. I'm happy for you. I mean, it's always a good time whenever we can come here and talk about Jay Folds. I see y'all talking about me. I can see you. J. Cole, thank you, D2B2, for the $20 contribution. D2B2 says J. Cole will return as Jermaine Lamar, J. Dot, and or. Okay, llama is rude. That's rude. Mm, mm, mm. I love this. This is perfect. We'll put the little dashes in there so it's like Sir Mix-a-Lot, J Fold-a-Lot. That's perfect. My personal favorite is J Folds 5. I don't know why. I like it so much, but I do. Oh, thanks, J. Cole. We were totally confused about that. Definitely needed a clarifying statement. Oh, jeez. Furry Bee Productions is just in prime right now. I think he's going to lean into his God complex and come back as J. Christ. Definitely. Definitely. You see what it did for what's his name? He's married to Tiny. What's his name? What the man name? This is perfect. This is perfect. That couldn't think of it to save, couldn't think of it to save my life. He said that he has one more project coming after this. He didn't want to release it because it's already too much material out there to digest with the fall off and birthday blizzard. What the fuck is a birthday blizzard? Thank you, beautiful. You know what? I don't know how I feel about this man selling CDs out his car. How y'all feel about that? Jelly Cole is crazy. Phantom Black. Oh, so now he cares about there being too many songs. Thank you, beautiful. Oh, the 4-pack of songs. Right, 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 right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Yes, he is. Here, okay, I'm so glad somebody else said it. Is this not a chair? Says he's cosplaying struggle. I think this is exactly how my mind works, right? Because we're all, hypocritical contrarians in some aspect of our lives. Um, on the one hand, it's like, keeping your struggle car. Okay, sure. You know, whatever. You could apply 1,000 sentimental reasons of why you keep your last bucket. But your last bucket could have been somebody else's chariot. That's the thought that came to mind when I saw that he was doing that. Alex said he's cosplaying. Melody said, "I think it's dope." Yes, yes, there has been some chatter in the Discord today. Poison Ivy. Then he has the nerve to be riding around in a Civic cosplaying a starving artist, forcing the CD from the truck. Yeah. Who asked for this? I'm him. I like the CD concept. Gives an old school feel. Demetrius, I could think of worse things for him to be doing. Not Baby Keem snippet sounding better than the whole album. Halima Williams. Hello, beautiful. Pretentious. Its jam is back. This is interesting for AB Productions. It's in real life botting. Nisha Falk, he biting Kendrick's essence, but he never been through the struggle like Kendrick. That's why there's no depth to his songs. There's a couple reasons why, but that's definitely one of them. Maybe he's going back to the humble beginnings of his early days, but he can't actually do that. He can't actually do that. That man said, "Oh my God, there's people out here. Nigga, you famous. What did you expect to have happen?" Because you couldn't get it into a store? That's different. I've seen this a lot. Halima, he's going through his logic moment. Talk about arrested development. This man is doing at 40 what people were doing at 25. We're just gonna leave this right here. Defendants Cole World Inc. and Jermaine Lamar Cole, personally known as J. Cole, by their undersigned counsel, answer the complaint of plaintiff Cameron Giles, personally known as Cameron, dated October 28, 2025, 2 days after my birthday. That's special. Oh, that reminds me. I know y'all will give me just a second to grab something real quick because y'all busy cracking on that man. Yeah, y'all cracking on that man. Several people have asked me, APSA, put together a little housewarming. Y'all been saying that since November. I did. It's a housewarming. It's last Valentine's Day. You want to hit your girl with a little something, something, you can do that. There's a little something for me. There's a little something for the cat. Okay? Before I forget. Okay, I did that. All right, great. This is interesting. That it is, this is answer to complaint. I don't know if there is a motion to dismiss buried in here, but usually what happens is you get sued, right? And then you have a couple options of how you are going to respond. You can answer the lawsuit. This is an answer. You can file a motion to dismiss. You can file some such other thing, right? But you have to take an action. Okay? The majority of the things that we have read here in response to lawsuits have been motions to dismiss. Now that we're getting into Aubrey's proposed class actions, we're seeing other things, right? Suggestions on how to proceed, right? And now this is the first heading that actually says answer to complaint. And that's what it says on the docket too, is it's filed as answer and not motion to dismiss. So that would be the first thing that I would point out. I'm saying that because when you answer a complaint, one of the things that you do, which is where he starts off, is address your knowledge of the accusations in the complaint, whether you agree with them or not, whether you don't agree with them. Okay. So, defendants, again, this is Cole and his company because Cameron voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit against UMG, so they are no longer an active party. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button, share this live. Oh, Jesus. That's a good one. Motion to apologize. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Hilarious. Oh, baby, we got to use the government names here. Okay. So this is Cole and his company, our defendants. Defendants deny knowledge or information as to the truth of the allegations in paragraph 1 of the complaint, except admit that plaintiff's complaint seeks a declaration that he is a co-author of the sound recording of the song Ready 24. This man gonna make me do extra work. Jesus Christ. Un momento, por favor. You see, I'm a little testy. Okay, let's refresh our memory of what the paragraphs are. That's crazy that they say they deny knowledge of anything pertaining to paragraph 1 except for that he alleges he's the co-author. Here's what paragraph 1 says. Plaintiff, Cameron, professionally known as Cameron, is a world-renowned rapper and entrepreneur. Plaintiff brings this action for a declaration that he is a co-author of the sound recording of the song Ready 24. So J. Cole denies any knowledge whatsoever of Cameron's career. It's crazy. So I'm just refreshing our memory and then we're going to click back over. In or about December 2021, plaintiff agreed with Cole to contribute lyrics to a verse in the composition of Ready 24, which plaintiff understood he and Cole would subsequently record and defendant would release on a future album subject to certain specific conditions. Plaintiff's contribution to the composition was expressly conditioned, we're in paragraph 3, on plaintiff having final approval over the release of the composition or any sound recording embodying the composition, appropriate credit on the composition, and a subsequent sound recording, and Cole collaborating with plaintiff on a future project. This is paragraph 4. Subject to the above conditions, Cole agreed to collaborate on a future recording that plaintiff would release as a single or appear on plaintiff's podcast. It is what it is. Paragraph 5, plaintiff wrote the lyrics for the composition and plaintiff and Cole recorded the sound recording embodying the composition in or about June 2022 in New York. 2 years later, with Cole having refused to honor his agreement to collaborate with plaintiff on either a single or on the podcast, defendants nevertheless released the sound recording, which embodied the composition on the album Might Delete Later. And then 7, the composition of Ready 24 has been registered in the United States Copyright Office by Cole, and plaintiff is identified as a co-author. Plaintiff brings this action for a declaratory judgment that the sound recording is also a joint work under the Copyright Act. Okay, so that is what Cameron is suing J. Cole for. Defendants deny knowledge or information as to the truth of the allegations in paragraph 1 of the complaint, except admit that plaintiff's complaint seeks a declaration that he is a co-author of the sound recording of song Ready 24. Defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 2 of the complaint. Defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 3 of the complaint. Defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 4. In paragraph 5, except admit only that plaintiff wrote lyrics solely to his verse in Ready 24 and provided a featured performance on Cole's sound recording of Ready 24 recorded in or about June 2022 in New York City. Defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 6 of the complaint, except admit only that Ready 24 was released on the album Might Delete Later in or about April 2024. Defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 7 of the complaint, except admit that a copyright registration has been filed with the United States Copyright Office by a third-party publisher, identifying several writers to the composition Ready 24, which speaks for itself, and admit further that plaintiff's complaint purports to seek a declaratory judgment that the sound recording of Ready 24 is a joint work under the Copyright Act, which defendants deny. Paragraph 8 contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. To the extent a response is required, defendants deny the allegations in paragraph 8 of the complaint, but admit that plaintiff purports to assert a single declaratory judgment claim under the Copyright Act. Okay, so they're saying we don't admit anything, but we technically understand Cameron's lawsuit. The allegations of the complaint fail to support subject matter jurisdiction, as the allegations of the complaint are in the nature of a state law contract claim. Interesting. Defendants deny that Cole is a resident of the state of New York and deny that he is the only member of Cole World, as it is not a limited liability company, and affirmatively aver that he is the sole owner of Cole World Inc. I mean, I think this is kind of an arbitrary number, but I'm gonna let you have that. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button, share the live. It just makes me happy seeing Mr. Fold a lot. Halima Williams, very passive aggressive, on the nose for Mr. Fold a lot. How humble of him. Shirley Johnson. Kendrick has just broken these two men. Needs to be studied. Show enough. Poison Ivy. I just want to point out that Jermaine took time to respond to a local rapper from his hometown on the fall off, but couldn't give Cam a verse or interview. Defendants admit the allegations in paragraph 11 of the complaint solely to the extent that Cole has performed in the state of New York and that sound recordings by Cole are available to residents of the state of New York. Deny again paragraph 12 of the complaint, except admit that sound recordings embodying the performance of defendant Cole are available to residents of the state of New York. Okay. He admits Cameron wrote lyrics in connection with his featured performance on Ready 24, which was recorded at Electric Lady Studios in New York City, June 2022. Defendants deny the allegations. Okay. Okay. Defendants deny that venue is proper and deny that this court has personal jurisdiction over defendants. Defendants further deny that subject matter jurisdiction exists for the reasons stated herein, and on that basis, deny the allegations contained therein. Well, then why didn't you file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction? I'm confused. He denies anything and everything about, his affirmative knowledge of whatever Cameron says about himself and his career, except to admit that Cameron is in fact a recording and performing artist. They allege that Cameron incorrectly defines J. Cole's professional role with Cole World Inc. That might be because all of your information is hidden behind a registered agent. This is something that I happen to know when I looked into what happened with your little festival. Anyway. Hmm? J. Cole continues to deny all the things, except to admit that plaintiff provided featured vocals on a song entitled 95 South, which appeared on Cole's album The Off Season. J. Cole denies that there were any discussions as to any conditions or agreements, except admit that in or about 2021 or 2022, Cole and plaintiff discussed the possibility of plaintiff contributing a featured vocal performance on a recording for a Cole album. I'm trying to decide, is Fateless here? I'm trying to decide if this lawyer sucks. I promise you this is 1000% entirely real. I just paid for the document off of a government website where filings are made. Hit that docket fund, support the channel. So the thing that is interesting to me and why I'm trying to figure out if this lawyer sucks or not is number one, I don't understand why this isn't a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction if they dispute venue. That's number one. Number two, I don't understand why they say that part of the jurisdictional issue is that this should be a state court contractual matter, and then say there were conversations but no agreement. Why would you say that this is a contractual matter governed under state law and then say there was discussions but no agreement? It's a rhetorical question. That one is a rhetorical question because an answer is forming in my head, but I think it's sloppy. I'll put it that way. Marshall Irons, this lawyer is splitting the hair so fine they need a microscope. That's a good one. Alex, this feels like an intern wrote this compared to what we usually read. Demetrius, I'm struggling to understand what the purpose of this document is, but maybe we just haven't gotten to it yet, Yeah, I mean, we're only on page 4 of 12. There's something remarkable could happen. He says that Cameron voluntarily and without condition appeared as a featured performer, lyricist on his single verse on Cole's recording of Ready 24 in New York City. Defendants further deny that plaintiff objected to the release of Ready 24 or asserted any condition or ownership claim prior to its commercial release. What was it that you said? Split a hair so fine you need a microscope? If he had a gentleman's agreement about having co-control over when it would be released, and he thought that there was integrity behind that agreement, he would not need to assert any additional condition or ownership of the song if he thought that there was integrity behind that agreement. If the release was a surprise to him, the only opportunity for him to then assert something would be after. Let's just hold on now. Diapia, the aftermath of the Dot Lobbery battle is still surreal to me because what do you mean did Cole get himself sued because he was scared to come outside and talk to Cam? Because that's what this is about. And we talked about that when this lawsuit dropped. Um, it dropped during a live where we were talking about Drake getting sued in a proposed class action. But anyway, we talked about that when this lawsuit dropped of like, ooh, it's a little tricky. The timing is a little tricky. And then you don't want to give him a verse because you've got stuff that is coming out like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I said at the beginning of this live, if you're wondering what Cameron is suing J. Cole for, he's suing him for being a dick. Okay, calm down. That's all right. Yes, baby, you missed the detail. We didn't miss the detail. Okay. Bless your heart. Take a deep breath. It's okay. Cole and his company, Cole World, are being sued. So, and if the lawyer is oscillating back and forth between defendant and defendants, baby, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I just read the document. I just read the document, babes. Okay. Demetrius, I saw a clip of Cam saying that's exactly what it was. He couldn't do an interview because he didn't want to say anything about the beef, but didn't want the flack for not saying shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just all wrapped up together. Pasicho? Drake dropped snippets to step on Cole's album and Cole got sued during Drake's lawsuit. Wow. Oh my goodness. He can just ride that Civic to Cam's studio and give an interview. Poison Ivy. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Hello, beautiful. It's good to see you. This is hilarious. Oh gosh. Okay. So voluntarily and without condition, Cameron agreed to perform his single verse on Cole's recording of Ready 24 in New York City. Defendants deny the allegations, in paragraph 26 to the extent they imply that defendants had no right to utilize plaintiff's featured performance as he had agreed they could. Defendants affirmatively aver that plaintiff encouraged and blessed defendant's use of his performance. I just read it. I just read it. All I do is read it. My job is just to read it. I'm just the reader. I didn't write it. I'm waiting for the chat to fucking lose it. I'm just a reader. Yeah, you're tripping. You're tripping. You gonna make me read it again? Oh God. Okay, just remember I didn't write it. Okay. I think I'm a better writer than this. Defendants deny the allegation in paragraph 26 to the extent they imply that defendants had no right to utilize plaintiff's featured performance as he had agreed they could. Defendants affirmatively aver that plaintiff encouraged and blessed defendant's use of his performance as it was to his career benefit and that it was only after the release of Ready 24 that he began to demand unreasonable conditions never agreed to by Cole or any excessive fee inconsistent with industry standards for a featured performance, followed by the filing of this lawsuit without notice to publicly disparage Cole as leverage. Cameron. We have never read the word blessed on a docket before. No, we've never read the word blessed on a docket before. Okay. We ain't covered a cult. Well, I mean, we are covering a cult. Now that I think about it, we are covering a cult on this channel, but um, a couple now that I think about it. But anyway, the point is no, no. Baby, I have answered this question already. Cole and his company are being sued in this lawsuit. That is why it is defendants plural. Is this the same lawyer that said, he was an altar boy, Your Honor? That was a moment in open live court. Asking for a Baptist is crazy. J. Ray, the downplaying of legacy hip hop acts is pissing me off, honestly. Baby, it's J. Cole. He had all three and probably a white Wiccan too. Oh boy. It's after dark on the channel. I don't know what you want from me. Let me get my licks back. Okay, first of all, it's my week. It's lick back week. Period. Also, this motherfucker, I gotta read this. And this is abhorrent. Let me get my licks back. My lick back. They called Cameron a clout chaser. I'm gonna read it again. J. Cole and his company deny the allegations in paragraph 26 to the extent they imply that J. Cole and his company had no right to utilize Cameron's featured performance as he had agreed they could. J. Cole and his company affirmatively aver that Cameron encouraged and blessed Jermaine Lamar's use of his performance as it was to his career benefit, and that it was only after the release of Ready 24 that he began to demand unreasonable conditions never agreed to by Cole or an excessive fee inconsistent with industry standards for a featured performance, followed by the filing of this lawsuit without notice to publicly disparage Cole as leverage. So I often say on this channel, lawsuits usually don't come out of nowhere. Oftentimes, attorney for the party who is suing has reached out for one reason or another to the party that's being sued, often to say, hey, I represent this person. We're exploring suing you about XYZ. We're going to need you to make sure under whatever applicable law, you retain any and all records related to XYZ, right? A retention notification. And that's why, babe, we just read the docket. Okay? We just read the docket. Notice I did not say an Etsy witch. I feel like J. Cole's mother is Wiccan. It would just make so much fucking sense. Anyway, Cameron, this man talking bad about you, and nobody here appreciates it. And here we go again. J. Cole and his company deny the allegations in paragraph 28 of the complaint, except admit that from time to time, Cole and Cameron would have discussions about the possibility of Cole working with Cameron on one of his songs, but no commitment was ever made to do so, nor was there any agreement or condition related to Ready 24 to do so. That is correct, no handle. That is what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Halima Williams. That's literally why he's suing you, dude. Exactly. I don't care what this man done said in interviews. Okay. We go up the docket here. We read his lawsuit. I recapped it, pulled it up and recapped it at the beginning of this live. Oh my goodness. And so Jermaine is flip flopping in a legal document, not just in rap. Oh my goodness. Demetrius, we never pinky promised. So lots of conversations, no agreements. That's what he's saying. Deny, 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 deny. Diapia, thank you for the $10 contribution, beautiful. Diapia says, I really hope they make a TV series out of the whole battle and the aftermath. We got at least 3 seasons by now. And then a few more once they sue the TV show. Yeah, it's interesting. It really is interesting. BX Finest, good to see you, beautiful. BX Finest says Cole is playing with Cam. Had this happened in the late 90s or early 2000s, he would have had hands and feet put on him. Yeah, we read Cameron's lawsuit, and he goes through and lays out a very crystal clear timeline and his attempts and his efforts to get J. Cole to commit to something, and once it was clear to him that music wasn't going to happen, he was like, all right, well, the podcast it is. Come on. Non-responsive Cole. I mean, I wrote 2 books, so I'm like, they could be adapted. Well, I don't necessarily know, and maybe other people could weigh in better. He got industry rate. According to J. Cole's response, he received industry rate for his verse. He is listed as a writer. Cameron is saying it should be joint work, which I would imagine increases his cut. So I don't think that what Cameron ever alleged in his lawsuit was that he was not compensated at all. He's saying that the agreement that we had was not met. And that agreement can incorporate many things. It can incorporate pay, it can incorporate release details, it can incorporate, you know, the I scratched your back, now it's time for you to scratch mine, right? Maybe Cole met there could be a dozen things, right? Maybe Cole met one of them, two of them, none of them, 11 of them. If there's a dozen things and you only met 11, then you didn't meet the agreement. Izzy Killer. I know Cameron was pissed when he heard Grippy. We are not giving this man a pass like that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Now, I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to call you out because you know you're welcome here. Really enjoy you being a part of the community. Are you Black? Because there's an unspoken thing here. This is a Black legacy artist. You show them deferential respect, especially when they do something for you that is a benefit to you. You show them deferential respect, which means you make them a priority. You make them a priority. Oh, God. Kiki has entered the chat. And it was years. This was years. And you got nothing for this man? That is how the game is played. Jeremy Brown, Cam is a legit hip hop legend. Cole is simply on that bullshit. Imagine Kendrick got up on that stage and was like, yeah. Or if he had said, they wouldn't let us cuss on it though. Y'all didn't hear the bars that we really wrote for it because blah, 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 blah. People would be aghast. We'd still be talking about it today. Did this nigga not think? Did he throw shade at? Whoa. That was 2 weeks ago. We'd still be talking about it today. Thank you very much. Brought to you by Unspoken Rules of Blackness. That's exactly what this is. Brought to you by Unspoken Rules of Blackness. And here's the thing. There are some legacy artists, and when I say legacy artists, I'm not just referring to rap. I'm talking about actors. I'm talking about writers. I'm talking about, okay? They are very difficult people to deal with behind the scenes, right? They got a team. They got ego, a lot of it earned. They got standards and expectations, and they got criteria, and they got this, that, and the other, and da 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 da. And if you can't handle that, then leave them alone. They not one of your little friends. They not one of your little friends. Kiki, imagine if Coolio complained about Gangsta Paradise not being able to have cuss words to Stevie Wonder. It's crazy. Tracy Chapman had it wasn't just Nicki. It was everybody. She had actually Tracy Chapman had it herself on the don't call me, don't even ask me list. Don't even ask me to use my music. Nicki Minaj team said the benefit to you, and this is a no. It's Nicki Minaj. And she was like, I said, don't darken my doorstep, don't ring my bell in this life or the next. They said, did you hear us say it was Nicki Minaj? She hung up the phone and then had her number changed. I said, don't call me. Don't ask me to use my music. I go to everybody out there. Get from around here. They said, but it's Nicki Minaj. She said, oh, double fuck no. Mm-hmm. Yep. Her fan base still gets mad at me when I say Nicki voluntarily lost that lawsuit. They're like, nuh-uh, that's not what happened. We read the documents and dug them up out the dusty archives, okay? Because that case was a while ago. I said, I want to see exactly how this ended. Nicki requested a default judgment against her for a set amount of cash to end the lawsuit. A default judgment against you means you lost. Well, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I'll read it for you. That's not what we're here for. So no, I'm not going to ignore it. How you going to tell me what to do on my channel? How you going to do that? Hmm? I'm already ornery. I'm already ornery tonight with this yellow haze shit.
Just pull yourself together.
How you gonna be talking in the back of the class like, ignore me? I can see you. Pass it notes. You don't need to read this. Pass it forward. Thank you very much. I'm gonna read it to the whole class. You are welcome. It's all love. It's all love. But come on now. We suffering through this. Don't tempt us with a good time, God damn it. We're suffering. Who said I look a little jaundiced? I'm so angry right now. You have no idea how pissed off I am about this goddamn camera. Busted. That's right, beautiful. Busted. Oh gosh. Okay. I am a big sister. That is actually true. I am a big sister. Fallout New Vegas. Thank you very much. Yes, I've heard all of the things. I've heard all of the things. If you're new here, I don't usually look like this. Okay, it's a camera. It's a camera defect that's happening. Okay. Y'all are so entertaining. We're only on page 5 of 12. What the fuck else is in this? Jesus Christ. I was late starting because I was trying to fix it, but I can't remember what I did last time to fix it. Watch it work right after I get off live. I'm gonna be mad. But it's fine. Okay, you know what? Fuck you. God damn it, be nice to me. Constance said, I thought it was a style choice. No! Sepia Absa. Ooh! Huh? Did that work for y'all? Oh, oh. Better. Thank you very much. No, it was not a filter. I swear to God. I swear to God. It's not a filter, but there are filters in StreamYard. And when they said sepia, that reminded me, oh my God, I can change it to black and white. Yay. We still love mustard abs. I hope y'all are happy. I hope y'all are proud of yourselves. Got your little cracks in. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Oh, oh God. Frank Miller's absa got me cracking up. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh gosh. It's a time machine. Princey says hi. It is, and it may just be this way, guys, for a couple days if this camera doesn't. Okay, we just going. This is what we're gonna do. What you know? What really pisses me off is that I've got a super cool lipstick on. It's totally ruined by whatever the fuck is going on with the camera. That was my first key. When I sat down, I was like, I did not put on orange lipstick. I was so mad. Hey. Okay, Absa and the Vandals is hilarious. Absa and the Vandals. Okay. Jesus Christ, we're only on page 5. It's been an hour. Ugh. Okay. J. Cole admits that Cameron asked Cole to appear on his podcast and that he and Cole discussed the possibility of Cole appearing on Cameron's podcast, but no commitment was ever made by Cole to do so. Y'all got me hot. Oh, God. I would be fucking insufferable. Darth Vader's car, I would be insufferable. I would be insufferable, okay? Insufferable. I'd be dancing with the Glock just like Kenny in that video, and that is not gun safety. No, it's not. No, it's not. But Betty like rhythm. She do. Betty like a little rhythm. Y'all are having the best time, and I just love it. Ooh, damn. Shirley Johnson said, and it's Black History Month. Why would you fight this in Black History Month against the black man Cole? Come on now. Oh, J. Cole. Oh, J. Cole. Damn. Oh, by far. Oh, by far. This is a great one. Marshall Irons. Anybody got the timestamps? Has Absa spent more time reading this than she did listening to the drop off? Yes, by far. That was like 24, 25 minutes. Yeah. A Project 3. A. Okay, so anyway, y'all are distracting me. Stop it. Shit. Okay, I feel a little bit better now. My back is sweaty. Y'all had me cracking up. Whew. Okay. Cameron did ask Cole to appear on his podcast, and that he and Cole discussed the possibility of Cole appearing on Cameron's podcast, but no commitment was ever made by Cole to do so, nor was there any agreement or condition related to Ready 24 to do so. When plaintiff wanted to talk to Cole, Cole was responsive. He says he didn't handle the copyright. That was done by a third party. Cole and his company deny the allegations in paragraph 35 of the complaint to the extent they imply that Cameron is entitled to monies as a copyright owner of the sound recording of Ready 24, as he is not, and deny knowledge or information as to the status of the publishing revenue percentages that have to be allocated amongst the producers and sample writers who contributed to Ready 24 for publishing revenue to be generated. Defendants otherwise deny the allegations of paragraph 35 of the complaint. He says, I don't have anything to do with how much money you get paid. I don't have anything to do with how your credit was defined on this. I didn't file the paperwork. Question, Cole. Just curious. How did UMG get the information about who wrote what? In order to file the paperwork that they filed for copyright. How'd they get that? How would they know what to put in the paperwork? It's your album. You're the executive producer. So. Wow. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. Reign of April. This jive turkey is something else. Ain't he though? Ain't he special? Yes, he is. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button, share the live. Yes, he's busy being a humble door-to-door salesman. Yes. Mm, mm, mm. Cameron's complaint sounds in breach of contract and pleads no elements of any joint authorship claim. We deny that we owe him any money for anything. In further response to the complaint, Germain makes the following allegations as affirmative defenses against the claims asserted against him, without admitting that they bear the burden of persuasion or presentation of evidence on each or any of these matters, and without waiving the right to assert and rely upon other defenses that become available or apparent during the course of this action. He said, "Nigga, we can go to court." This is crazy. He says the complaint fails to state a claim. Again, why didn't you file a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim? First, you say no jurisdiction. Why didn't you file a motion to dismiss for that? Now you say failed to state a claim. Why didn't you file a motion to dismiss for that? Why are you going through this litigation and not trying to get it dismissed? Cameron is not and never was a joint author or co-owner of the sound recording entitled Ready 24. Cameron, therefore, is not entitled to the declaratory or equitable relief he seeks, premised on any alleged ownership interest in the sound recording. At the time of the creation of the sound recording, the parties did not mutually intend to create a joint work or to share ownership of the sound recording, which is a required element of joint authorship under the Copyright Act. Cameron authorized and consented to the recording, release, distribution, and exploitation of Ready 24 and or granted Cole an implied license to do so. Blessed, implied. Be so for real, bro. Yes, it is curious, isn't it? Hmm. This week's It Is What It Is should be fun. Can't wait for the clips. Boy, howdy. Implied license to do so, not an actual specific license, but as in you have all authority to do whatever you want. I'll read it again. Cameron authorized and consented to the recording, release, distribution, and exploitation of Ready 24 and or granted Cole and his company an implied license to do so. Cameron's claims for declaratory and equitable relief are therefore barred in whole or in part to the extent they are predicated on any alleged lack of authorization or consent. By words, conduct, and course of dealing, Cameron led J. Cole reasonably to believe that Cameron consented to and would not contest J. Cole's release and exploitation without condition of Ready 24. J. Cole and his company reasonably relied on Cameron's conduct to their detriment. This is J. Cole saying, I trusted him, and now he sued me. J. Cole reasonably relied on Cameron's conduct to his detriment. He said he did not timely object, and he did not insist upon any alleged conditions preceding the release. Well, we don't know that he knew when it was going to come out. Or we don't know that he knew when it was going to be announced that it was coming out. Honestly rude. We read it in the we read, excuse me. That's not what I meant to say. We read his lawsuit. So, I know that the man has a podcast and he makes a lot of statements, and I'm not saying that he's lying about what he is saying publicly, but we do stick to the docket for a reason, and we don't tend to incorporate public statements for consideration unless they appear in the docket, which sometimes they do. But respectfully, I don't watch his podcast. And so I don't have a basis of knowledge to make sure we stay within the realm of factual information. Okay. And that's why we stick to the docket and what's filed on the record. No, baby, that's not Drake's lawyers. Okay. These are J. Cole's lawyers. That's not how lawyers work. Okay. Furry Bee Productions. I relied on him being professional, even though I had no intention of reciprocating. That's the damn truth. People will lie publicly all the time. All the time. PR statements are spin. They're crafted for persona 9 times out of 10. 9.5 times out of 10. And you will find people saying something in public and then completely contradicting it on the docket. And that's because you can't knowingly file false shit with the court. But you can say whatever the fuck you want on your podcast, in a released statement, so on and so forth. On social media, just tweeting and posting stuff. You can say whatever you want. But the I swear under penalty of perjury, that's a different level. It's giving, I can't believe she cheated on me from a man that cheats. That's a perfect analogy. They're also very, this is very clipped. Like, here's an affirmative defense. Plaintiff's claims for equitable relief, including plaintiff's claim for an accounting, are barred in whole or in part by the doctrine of unclean hands. I know what the doctrine of unclean hands is. Why'd he put it in this lawsuit? Let me find some language so I can explain it succinctly. Okay, so the doctrine of unclean hands is an equitable defense that bars a plaintiff, in this case Cameron, from obtaining relief if the plaintiff, Cameron, has engaged in bad faith or misconduct directly related to the subject of the claim. So he is alleging Cameron has done some shady shit around this entire situation and is therefore barred. But he doesn't say what it is. Okay, I'll repeat it. Did you hear me? But it just froze the screen, but you could hear the words that I said? Or could you not hear the words that I said? You could still hear me. Okay, great. So I'm sorry that that was a distraction for you with the screen freezing. But let me just repeat. Cole is going through now, and he is asserting legal defenses to this lawsuit. One of them is unclean hands. Unclean hands means that he is alleging that Cameron did something, but he won't say what. He just says plaintiff's claims for equitable relief, including plaintiff's claims for an accounting, that is the monies, right, having to do with this song, are barred in whole or in part by the doctrine of unclean hands. And then he gives no detail. Yes, he would. Nisi says, if this goes forward, would he need to say why his hands are unclean? Yes, he would. My video drivers have scurvy. Damn. J-Ray, I'm sorry. It's Black History Month. Maybe I'm a bit sensitive, but this reads mighty white supremacy. I'm disturbed this was filed on his behalf. It's Jam is Black, or Tis Jam is Black. It just clicked. J Fold is doing white people shit. Halima Williams. Oh, this is that. That Karen side creeping. Nisi. Oh, Him really dry snitching. No, he could not extend past Black History Month. That is not a reason. He had a deadline. He had to file a response. The court doesn't give a shit that it's Black History Month, and that is not a reason to give them an extension of time. You know what he should have done is when this lawsuit was filed, he should have worked it out so that Cameron could voluntarily dismiss it. That's what he should have done. But we've already established that the mere fact that this lawsuit exists is evidence that J. Cole doesn't show deferential respect to legacy artists. At least not this one. Gerald Jordan. Man said he dropped that verse in 48 hours for Cole, and now he's saying Cam was on one. Wow. At the bare minimum, he is alleging, based on what we've read in this response so far, where he says he blessed, he implied, he, according to J. Cole, he didn't object in a timely manner when the song was released. He waited, and then he filed this lawsuit without even contacting me. Nigga, he was trying to talk to you for 2 years. What are you talking about? So, based on that, J. Cole is saying this whole lawsuit situation and the claims that are wrapped up in are let me think of a good word. At the bare minimum, he's saying this lawsuit is not in good faith. And Cameron is just trying to hurt me. And so if the lawsuit and the claims therein are not in good faith and it's being done maliciously because we had no agreement and I never said this, and sure, we talked about it, but there was no promise, and da 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 da. That bare minimum could be unclean hands, or he could be alleging something much more nefarious. We don't know because he doesn't say. He just says, here are my 8 affirmative defenses or whatever, however many there are. We're on number 8 now. Jesus Christ. Cameron is not entitled to an accounting of the monies related to the song because Cameron has not alleged and cannot establish any fiduciary relationship, joint ownership interest, contractual obligation, or other relationship giving rise to a duty to account. This is very much giving Chad Hugo versus Pharrell. He missed the statute of limitations, according to J. Cole. To the extent Cameron is found entitled to any monetary relief, which J. Cole denies, any such recovery must be reduced by set off and or recoupment, including amounts paid or payable to third parties and other costs, expenses, advances, royalties, and charges associated with the creation, clearance, distribution, and exploitation of Ready 24. This is so J. Cole. This is so J. Cole. J. Cole is like, if I owe you more money for this song, I should be able to take out production costs, promotion costs. That is the least surprising thing in here for a man who don't like to pay to actually promote his artist. But anyway, I read that in here out loud. You're getting it. You're getting it. Dropping knowledge bombs. He's such a dick. Uh-huh. At least give the man the bike. Shit, give him the Camry too. Okay, lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Lack of personal jurisdiction. So lack of subject matter jurisdiction, they assert this is not a copyright issue or any other issue under federal law. They said very early on in this document, this is if it's anything, it's a contractual dispute in state court. Lack of personal jurisdiction, we've talked about this quite a bit. He says the court lacks personal jurisdiction over the defendants because defendants lack sufficient minimum contacts with the state of New York related to the claims asserted, and the exercise of jurisdiction would violate due process. Cole's companies are registered in Delaware. Again, I know this because you had some clever public wording about what happened with that festival, but we both know. I think Cameron alleged in his lawsuit that Cole lives in New York, and Cole has said earlier in this document, I don't live in New York. We recorded the song in New York, but there's no other relationship to New York. Venue is improper. The action should be dismissed or transferred. I feel like Cole said to a lawyer, what can you write me for this amount of money? Instead of saying to a lawyer, how much is it going to cost me to get rid of this lawsuit? Cole says, due to his incomplete knowledge as to the matters set forth in the complaint at this time, he and his company are unable to determine whether they have additional defenses not expressly enumerated in the preceding paragraphs or elsewhere in this answer. We reserve the right to amend our answer to assert additional defenses and to rely upon those additional defenses to the extent they become available or apparent during discovery or further proceedings in this action. I just don't understand why this isn't a motion to dismiss. I really don't get it. Maybe one is on the docket now, but that would make no sense. It would make no sense to file an answer and then separately file a motion to dismiss. Where is this? Isn't this in the Southern District of New York? No, this is in. No, yes, this is. This is in the Southern District of New York. Unless the judge has a specific chamber rule. So this is what J. Cole wants. J. Cole and his company. Deny Cameron everything. Dismiss the complaint with prejudice. Declare that Cameron has no ownership interest in the sound recording entitled Ready 24. Declare that Cameron is not entitled to an accounting or any other equitable relief. Deny Cameron's request for attorney's fees and costs. Award J. Cole and his company their costs and attorney's fees and any other relief that the court may deem just and proper. This is not the same lawsuit. I mean, this is not the same law firm that was lead counsel in Drake v. UMG. I hate it when people just repeat shit that they see on the internet to me and assert it as fact. So, okay. Y'all must have missed that earlier. I thought that was going to cause a big old argument or a big old response in the chat, but y'all were too busy cracking jokes on my little scurvy computer. And J. Cole's, Camry. Furry Bee Productions. Oh, you not from New York now? You rep New York when it's convenient. Keep that energy, Cole. Don't touch not one more New York City beat ever. You sure were, beloved. You sure were. Of course there are. I thought this off rip when we read the lawsuit. J. Ray says, makes me wonder if there are possible text messages that could shed more light on this situation. If we just, oh God, there you are. There you are. Yes, I said about 15 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago or however long ago it was. Where is Fateless? I'm trying to decide if this lawyer is an idiot or not. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It just says answer to complaint. There ain't nothing else. Let me check Pacer, even though I got to pay for it again. We be thorough around here. Try to be. Nope, that's it. I mean, I guess technically, no. Well, I guess he does have 30 minutes if he were going to file anything else, but it says answer. So I get no motion to dismiss. I'm stunned by that. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. He's got 2 attorneys. Wait. Oh, yeah. His attorneys and his company's attorneys are the same. So he's got 2 attorneys. There is an interested party who's come onto the docket. That's interesting. Cameron has 3 attorneys. Sarah, beautiful, we don't do this here. Someone on X said we don't do that here. That's not a fact. Wow. Cole and Drake really are two posing peas in a pod. It's crazy. I do not understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And that's okay. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time. I could just be dumb on this one, and it wouldn't be the first time. I'm wrong all the time. I miss things all the time. So we will get another document from Cameron. He will, so it goes filing, response, reply. So the complaint is filed. The response to the complaint is filed. We just read it. The reply to the response is filed. That will be in 2 weeks, probably. It is distinctly possible that thank you, beautiful. It is distinctly possible that a judge could come onto the docket having received this response and give Cameron's attorneys some direction in their reply. If there are very specific things that she wants to make sure get addressed, like venue, jurisdiction, and so forth. So this is where we're at. Baby, we are a long way away from a judge's ruling. But yeah, this is just, I really did not expect to see an answer to the lawsuit. I expected to see a motion to dismiss. But I think the thing that's interesting here, now that I'm, having some time to process, and this is why I feel like this man is not investing in his defense. There is no case law in this answer. A motion to dismiss for these things would have been much more comprehensive argument with a bunch of case law citations to back up, for example, the defenses that he asserts therein. There is no case law hey, well, you're in good company. There is no you're thank you, beautiful. No, I mean, the court's like, "Hey, you chose to answer? Okay, I guess this is the route we're going." You know what I mean? Um They could have said everything they said in this document in a motion to dismiss. It would have been much more intensive work for the people who wrote it. Marshall Irons. Okay. Sorry if this is a stupid question. When they were listing everything they wanted up to, but not including a pony, I thought I heard dismiss with prejudice. So is motion to dismiss specific? I mean, this is not a motion to dismiss. in the relief they want the case dismissed for all of the other reasons they list. And some people will say, oh, semantics, there's no such thing. Legal language is specific for a reason. So he lists in there a bunch of so-called affirmative defenses, right? And is basically saying for all of those reasons, it should be dismissed with prejudice, but this isn't a motion to dismiss. This is an answer to his lawsuit where we deny this, admit this, deny that, admit this, and we assert these 11 things as our defense. We didn't have an agreement. We didn't blah, 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 blah. I don't live in New York. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. I'm glad, child. I mean, I think they think they're being perfectly serious, you know? I think they're trying to pull off what Drake, Aiden, Stakes lawyers are doing, which even though they filed, well, no, they didn't file a motion to dismiss. Well, okay, that's too complicated of a comparison. Shit. I think what they're trying to do is be, and this isn't a bad thing because we've seen it before. We've seen lawyers file a response to something that is really just kind of bare bones, narrow, and focused, and doesn't get into narrative storytelling or giving their side of events in full detail. He clearly does not do that here. He just lists off deny, admit, deny, 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 admit, deny. Anything he admits to is inconsequential. Like he was on the song. He wrote his verse. You know, I don't have anything to do with how splits get defined. I mean, it's again, UMG just makes that shit up on their own without any input from the fucking executive producer of the album. Okay, J. Cole. I mean, hey, fuck it. I don't know the music industry like that. So maybe I'm sure. Whatever, bro. Cool story. Google is free. What question, what term is tripping you up? I'm here right now. If I can clarify something for you, then I'm happy to do that. But if you have a specific question, you can ask me right now. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. We all learn things together here. So this is a place to ask questions. If I know, I'll tell you. And if I don't, I'll tell you. Sometimes I have to go and do some research and come back. I don't often read filings ahead of time. Oh, okay. Well, a docket is where all of the documents in a case are held. Sometimes in a court proceeding, you'll hear somebody say, case number 123 XY57, or they'll say docket number 123 XY57. So when we are looking at a docket, okay, I am referring to I have gone to the federal website where things are filed because we typically look at cases that are filed at the federal level. And I have pulled down what has been filed by either or any party, right? Because sometimes there's more than two. Um, but I've downloaded whatever the latest thing is on the docket. And then when we're reading things, the attorneys will also reference the docket. They will say, for example, because everything on the docket is numbered. This is like, oh, I have it pulled up. Look at that. This is number 26 on the docket. So let me give you just a little bit of a peek. You're like, I can't see shit. It's okay. You don't need to see it. I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. This is the federal website for the Eastern or for New York. I don't know if it's Eastern District specific, but this is the one for New York. It lists the plaintiffs. Okay. Lists the action, lists the plaintiffs, lists the defendants, lists all of their lawyers. Then when you scroll down, right, you see all those lines, right? Those are individual filings. So, and they're numbered. So the answer is number 26. The complaint is usually number 1, right? Sometimes it'll actually be a lawyer coming onto the docket is number 1, but typically the number 1 thing on the docket is the original lawsuit that is filed. And so when you're reading a filing, sometimes they will refer to a document that is on the docket and they refer to it by docket and then the number. So, for example, he could have said in this document, plaintiff alleged in his complaint at docket number 1. That means they're referring to that document. And they could say paragraph 5. They're referring to paragraph 5 in that document and telling the judge exactly where to find it, exactly what it is they're citing, right? So that's what a docket is basically. It's the case. Okay? It's the case. It's the documents in the case. And so when I'm saying like I go off of what is on the docket and I don't pay so much attention to what is said in public by the parties because they can say whatever the fuck, this is what I'm referring to. What did they actually file under penalty of perjury with a court? I hope that's helpful. Yeah. So I follow right now, probably, I took some off recently, but anywhere between 25 and 30 different dockets, which means I'm following between 25 and 30 different cases. Everything from Drake's appeal for his UMG lawsuit being dismissed to this, to that island man and the lists and the files, that to them frozen white boys assaulting people on the street. Okay. That we just kind of whatever is front and center and present that I think is really important or that we can get a good cackle out of or that will just get people informed. This channel did not start off being a channel that would do this. But I've, since written 2 books just about Drake and the beef and his lawsuit alone because it became a thing. But the way that it started was I became very aware that the majority of YouTubers in the hip hop space who talk about legal cases do so based off of gossip or very short news summaries about what a case is. And news summaries are often wrong because they're trying to give you some clipped little, here's what we think that you need to know. And you learn 1,000 times more about what the reality of the situation is when you actually read a docket and the documents on it. And so that's what we do here is not focus on what reporters say the lawsuit is about, but read what it is actually about. And then we get to look at attachments. We get to see all kinds of things, okay, that we otherwise would not be privy to, okay? Good Lord have mercy. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, and the looters, support the docket fund because baby, it's expensive. The last quarter of 2025 when I, you know, did some archiving of my computer, I had 721 docket files on my computer to organize and archive. And I got to pay for those. So that shit adds up. So support the docket fund. Much appreciated. I'm not just speaking to you. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody, okay? That docket bill be making me sweat, baby. And if you don't pay it, they lock you out of the entire system. You can't access nothing. Who makes me sweat sometimes? Oh, we be falling out cackling, baby. Yes, the deep dive information is number 1, more informative. Number 2, more outrageous. Number 3, much funnier. we be reading this some shit. I'd be choking, crying, laughing. Oh man, we've had all kinds of really, really, yeah. And then there's this. You get to see my reaction to reading something for the first time. So if you're looking for like a primer, you could look up. I have a whole playlist, but you could look up the first live we had where we read Drake's actual lawsuit, not his pre-filings where, in Texas and this, he's doing all this. I'm mad at Apple. I'm mad at Spotify. But the actual, when he filed the lawsuit and we read that shit on this channel, baby, my God, that was a moment. That whole litigation was just incredible. There are so many things that I could tell you would get a kick out of. Lucian Grange coming onto the docket and putting a declaration against Drake. Classic fucking moment on the channel. Oh my God, the way he sliced and diced that boy was so beautiful. But yeah, there have been so many incredible moments reading documents. What a time, baby. What a time. So, yeah, if you're ever bored, you want something to fall asleep to, run it back. Run it back. So, yeah. The listening to lawyers quote lyrics, incredible. I read the transcript for oral arguments. Transcripts are a nice treat. They a real nice treat. I read the transcript for the oral argument for the motion to dismiss. So that's when the lawyers actually go before the judge and argue motion to dismiss for Drake v. UMG. So I did a dramatic interpretive reading of that on this channel, and it was so great. It was so great. I was thinking though the last time I read a transcript, which for the rest of the channel was Julie Lee, the lawyer, the now former assistant U.S. attorney. This system sucks. My job sucks, right? Next time I read a transcript, I'm gonna make a heavy disclaimer. And I thought about this after the fact with Drake v. UMG as well, which is that it is my own dramatic interpretive reading. Like, I assign emotion when I'm reading it. I assign tone when I'm reading it. And I'm trying to capture what it could be, but all I have is a transcript. So I don't know what the judge actually sounded like. I just know how I interpret it when I read it off the page, right? But I do think it's important to say that because there are some times when people are like, where I just want to be clear with people, judges could be in there real mundane, like, you know, real mundane, like I'm the one on the channel, like the songs were in dialogue with each other. She could have been like the songs were in dialogue with each other. I mean, I'm sure she didn't sound that way, but again, I just feel like I need to be clear with people that like I'm not trying to drama it up because you can tell when I'm reading them, I'm into what I am reading. I'm very much into it, but I am assigning tone and intensity and all of those things with just how it speaks to me off of the page in the context of them, arguing legally live in a courtroom. I mean, some judges, I mean, I can think of some federal judges who are very animated in their hearings and have a lot of personality. Some who are very, very jovial even, but still very like there's a switchblade under that jovial tone, right? That borderlines on exasperation, right? So yeah, I just feel like next time I do that, I need to I need to just say, "All right, all we have is the words on the page, okay? All we have is the words on the page." What did Furry do? Oh, dear God. Let that die in 2025. Oh, that was torture. That was torture. That was torture. That was torture. I mean, it was entertaining, but it was so exasperating. It was so exasperating as a strategist to watch that whole fucking train wreck. Just exasperating. There's sweet potato and pumpkin pie in the back, depending on your preference. That is absolutely true. And we also, this is just me wanting to show people in case you haven't seen it. We also suffer no fools here. Okay. And we will airlock a motherfucker off this channel real quick. And if you're wondering what the airlock looks like in 2026 on the AFL channel, baby, here you go. You get right up out of here and never be able to come back. We come up with words. We got a dazed in the lexicon. We come up with all kinds of things up in here. So welcome to anybody who is new. Hit the like button, share the live, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all the things, so you can be all up in the tea. What did Furry do? Oh yeah, new nickname activated. That's right. I tried to put it out my mind that fast. Did we? Did I miss some? Well, let me hit it again for the people that got up out of here. We got one. Here's another one. Did I forget? Or did I miss them? Well, here we go. Yeah, the mod squad don't play here, okay? They ain't got to wait for me to see it and affirm, yeah, give that motherfucker the airlock. But if I see somebody clowning, oh, I hit that button. But if they see it and I don't see it, they just get them up out of here. I missed them. Okay, see, they be on it. They be on it. They be holding me down because I be focused. I'm trying to read the head assery on the docket. The head assery. We also hand out titties. As we transition from the main A program to the B program. I'm trying to think about which titties to hand out right now. Wiccan. Yeah, he gets Wiccan titties. I know the Wiccan community is up in arms, but you're just gonna have to take this one, okay? All right. All right now. Well, I hit the wrong button. That's the medium black interlude. That's not the long black goodbye. Where's the long black goodbye? Why don't I see my button? That's problematic. I don't know what happened to it. I don't see it there. We'll just consider that to be the transition. Usually the transition says, "Welcome to the long black goodbye," because we can never just leave when shit's over. We got to sit here and talk. But I don't know where that went. I'm gonna have to find it. I would just like to say that this is a beloved member of the community. Ugh. I think about this more often than not. You have no idea. I think about this more often than not, and the answer is no. Okay? The answer is no, because number one, I don't always have time to chapter alive. If I can't chapter alive, it takes me a long time to find it. Think about how many lives we have in a given week. We have a lot. Sometimes we have a live every day of the week. So, no, I'm not gonna make that promise, but at some point in time, there will be a titties compilation because it just has to happen. We've had so many fascinating variations of it since it started, which again was an organic thing that was never it's not like I designed it and intended for it to be happening every time. I didn't just sit here and come up with that. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hand out tit. No, that's not how it happened. It happened because we were having a conversation about what do people consider crass language or language that makes them uncomfortable. And I've also had people clutch their pearls when I say certain things like, I hope every Seahawk player got sucked out they draws after that win. People be like, my children are listening. What the fuck are your kids in the room for while I'm talking? Stuff like that. I even handed out Rick Ross's titties at one point in time with visuals. People have been very upset about that ever since. They say it was traumatizing. Sometimes we get 3 lives a day. Yeah, so are you volunteering as tribute? Baby, my email address is in the channel description. Send me an email if you're serious. If you are volunteering, because baby, I can't pay the docket fund, the docket fee right now. Unfortunately, I cannot pay you. My eyes, my eyes. And that's all it took. It took one man clutching his pearls over titties and I don't know what I was talking about. I might have talked about, sometimes every once in a while. I talk about this good punani. But I let motherfucker fly all the time. And I had been motherfucker flies throughout a chat all the time. And this person had been there the whole time. And then I said something, titties, something. And they were just like, that is a bridge too far. And I was like, I will say it every single live until the day I die. Titties, titties, titties. Yeah. Yeah. That's my commitment to myself, to not let people box me into what it is they think I should say, how they think I should present, what it is they think I should talk about. Every once in a while, somebody will come in and do this, react to this. Baby, I ain't a do this, do that kind of gal. Okay. And something tells me that you don't have the fortitude to actually be somebody who could tell me what to do, because, oh, those people do exist. They got a special level to them that allows them to tell me what to do. And baby, when they tell me, I do it with a smile. I sure do. Kiki, I'm supposed to be chopping up my live fall off reaction, and that's like 4 hours long. Imagine sorting through 50 plus lives for tatas. So many titties. So many titties. Yeah, I'm not here for that. My job is to be as authentically me as I can be. Okay? That's my job here. They did. They crash out over titties. I get emails and messages from people saying I shouldn't talk about this, that, and the other. I at one point in time was up for a very prominent job at a very young age. Just stupid. But I was good. So what can I say? The people deciding, I was a finalist for the position up against a man. And the people deciding who would get the job happened to be nothing but old Black men. I was in my mid 20s. They were in their 70s. And they said I wasn't ladylike enough. And that's why they gave a job to a man. So, yeah. To that I say, suck on my balls, boss. Beyonce. Yes, and then we have little throwback stories of little Absa in her little heyday. She was special. I remember that. It was some guy that he was watching with his kids, and that's why he got mad about the titties. We've been cussing the whole time, and titties was a bridge too far for you. Also, why are your children in the room? Also, are they hearing this word for the first time from me? What you talking to your kids about when it comes to anatomy? How do they know what breasts are if you don't tell them? Daddy, what are titties? That's not a difficult question to ask. I mean, to answer. Daddy, what's a vagina? You know why your child's asking that? Because you told them to protect their cookie. Whew. That's hilarious. I would have been hot like when Elmo sees Rocco. That's hilarious. Oh, fleshly communication. Daddy, what's fleshly communication? What's coitus? All up and down I-5, apparently. What? What? Well. Oh my God. I've been on the seesaw at the playground. Is that what she's talking about? What's seesaw time? It's how you came into being. Now go to bed. Fleshly communication is when I hug your mama. Go do the dishes. Oh God, that's hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, that's where we are with this nonsense. More to come in about 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks, but who knows? Maybe they'll need to file an extension for time for because it's Black History Month. I'm kidding. But Cameron, if you're watching, I have no idea how to get in touch with you. I'd really love to discuss this lawsuit. I guess I could email your lawyer. Let me shut up. Yes, I'd really love to discuss this lawsuit with you or your attorney. I understand that you have your own platform and you have no reason to want to communicate with me for any reason whatsoever. But chat, this is a serious question. Okay. I know some of you, furry, are going to get off some jokes here, but this is a serious question. Questions for Cameron regarding this. There is a gaming channel. I haven't been on it in a while, but I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to come back to it. I actually was almost on it last night. I was almost on it last night at midnight. Yeah, I'll be coming back to it. But there's some stuff there that you can check, and Claudia just posted the link in the chat. But anyway. Kiki, you gonna wear baby fat to court? Bless your heart. Furry Bee Productions. Wow. Well, this is a switcheroo. What was the exact terms of the initial deal for this song? Okay. Everybody wants to know. Okay. Everybody wants to know. Do you have it in the archives? Are you going to wear it to court? Y'all are killing me. I will definitely think of some questions, and if I come up with some good ones that I'm really feeling strongly about, I will send a very respectful email to his counsel and ask for comment, period. I don't care if it's in writing. I don't care if it's in writing. Usually when I email lawyers and ask questions, well, it depends. I was going to say they don't respond. But it depends. And yes, support the docket fund. Please and thank you. Much appreciated. Kiki. What was his portion of the obligation and how much was fulfilled? What were you compensated for so far? And what is still owed? Yeah, I mean, he's suing for $500,000. But nevertheless, a plain language clarifying question, not opposed to it. One of the questions that I have, which I mean, I would assume that the answer is Yes. Based on J. Cole's answer. And I'm thinking to myself, is this relationship, irrevocably broken? Um, or is there a world in which, you know, you all come to some sort of agreement and maybe Cole is on the podcast in the future? This seems like a ridiculous question because my answer would be fuck that nigga. Furry B, Cam, how long have you suspected J. Cole is a bitch ass nigga? How many times did you contact Jay Solo before you decided to change the deal to an interview, and when was that? He's down as a as the writer of his verse. My understanding is Cameron is alleging a greater impact on the composition of the entire song. And therefore would be owed more money. But yes, according to Cole, he got a standard industry split. And then Kiki's saying, is he also owed production credits, songwriter credits, or is it just the interview? So clarification on that. After this filing? Yeah, that relationship is over. Yeah. Yes, he is credited as the writer of his verse. And J. Cole says, in terms of what the splits are for royalties, he ain't got no control over that. He's not even the one who filed the copyright information. That was a third party, presumably UMG. My rhetorical question to J. Cole is, well, how did UMG know whose names to put on the copyright? Mr. Producer of your album or executive producer of your album? Again, it's a rhetorical question. Right. And so what Cameron is saying is that this is a joint work. And J. Cole is saying, no, the fuck it isn't. Right. Obviously, again, this isn't, semantics, the specificity matters. Cameron is saying that he has a role in the overall composition of the entire song, and he wrote his verse. And J. Cole is saying he wrote his verse. We could definitely derive that from this. Yes. The chatter. Good to see you, beautiful. I'd want to know when the point was that he realized he wasn't getting paid for his work and what he thought of Cole before that. Interesting. Did you mean Bootsy or Boofy? I ain't forgotten. Or was it Doofy? I think it was Doofy. Yeah, Doofy. What am I missing? I'm not catching the reference. Nothing is coming to mind. I was gonna say. Okay. Wow. Wow. Tell me what it means, though. Nisi says, did Cameron contact anyone else to try and square this away? Was anybody else in the room when these conversations were happening, when these negotiations were happening? That's a great question. Somebody whack or lame. Easy enough. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, it's after midnight. Nothing else is on the docket. So I'm still kind of like, well, that's really it, huh? That's what you're filing. Okay. Got it. We're not talking about what he said on his podcast. We only talk about what he said on the docket. And yes, there are some folks who may want to run it back to the live reading of his lawsuit, but he recounts some pretty specific detail in there of an at least year-long attempt to get J. Cole to honor the agreement that Cameron alleges that they had. And every single time, Jay Folds a lot had an excuse. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't laugh at it if I were I would want to understand it better and also figure out, okay, what is the legal reply to this? How do we ground it in case law? I'm stunned at the lack of citation in this. I'm stunned at the lack of citation in this. And it causes me to lean towards it feels weak as an answer. It feels light. It feels light. So I'm very interested to hear what his lawyers come back with on the docket, not in public statements. And if they will, offer any attachments to their reply to bolster claims. So we shall see. I've seen this happen before. I don't think on this channel, but in general, I've seen an incomplete that somebody clearly thought was complete. It had a whole middle section that was basically part draft, part missing. But yeah, Claudia says, I'll admit that at times I thought they accidentally filed a draft. Yeah, it's really, really light. Unclean hands basically means there's some funny business going on around the claims or this action, but he does not specify what at all, period. So I think he had like 12 affirmative defenses with no citations. And they're just, we assert this, we assert that, this, that fuck it, let's throw in unclean hands too. He's saying Cameron is not walking into this litigation with clean intent. The specificity beyond that, we have no specificity beyond that because he didn't say. But he did say, that Cameron blessed him to do whatever he wanted, and that J. Cole inferred from Cameron's actions that he had a general license to do whatever he wanted. Translation. There may be written communication between these men, but these men did not have a written contract. And J. Cole says that he trusted Cameron and Cameron's word around this song to his detriment. What does that mean? He doesn't elaborate. Is he talking about, and now he's suing me? Or is he talking about something else? But he's in this document like, I trusted Cameron, and that was to my detriment. Well, what the fuck do you mean? Are you just referring to the fact that, and now he's suing me? Or are you insinuating that Cameron has done something else? There's a lot of insinuation here, a lot of tease, no tickle. Okay, a lot of tease, no tickle. He is implying a lot of things. He is implying a lot of things. He implies that Cameron blessed him to do whatever he wanted. He implies a lot of things. The chat says it's dry snitching. He dry snitching. And he also says that he has no, remember how we were talking about in the class action or the proposed class action filed against Drake, where Drake and Aiden say, we have no relationship, no legal relationship to Missouri, no general relationship, no specific relationship. He says the same thing. The venue and jurisdiction for this lawsuit is not proper because I don't actually live in New York. I don't have any special relationship to New York. My music may be available there. I may record music there, but I don't live there. My company is not there. And I know his company is not there because it's registered out of Delaware. I don't know if it's doing business in New York. Could be. I know that his businesses, many of Cole's business entities are registered in Delaware, and then they are registered as foreign agents in other states where they do business, right? Because the festival obviously was not in Delaware. It was in a different state. So the company that owned the festival was registered in Delaware, but the festival actually took place in a different state. So that entity was doing business in that state, had a legal relationship to that state. Oh, wow. That's a throwback. I don't want to go to the dance if I can't grab a little tit. Lester Freeman, The Wire. The only Southern rapper adopted by New York City and then act like this. This is hilarious, Claudia. Every time you say bless him, it reminds me of a pic, or bless them. It reminds me of a pic of a priest throwing holy water in a server room. Maybe somebody needs to come throw holy water on this fucking camera. He's sued me and he didn't even tell me he was going to sue me. I don't know. Maybe it's, an airtight, on lock legal reply. It's an answer, legal answer to the lawsuit, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it when we read it. It doesn't read that way when we read it. We're not in there like, oh shit, oh damn, oh God. J. Cole got him on the ropes here. Ooh, damn, what about this or that? It's just like, okay. Okay. And then like he does some sneak dissing in it, some dry snitching in it. He insinuates a bunch of stuff, but doesn't make any actual accusations against him. It just doesn't feel like it rises to an adequate response. But maybe I'm wrong. And it absolutely is legally not gonna, that doesn't mean it's gonna satisfy us, but legally, maybe it fully is. Something tells me it's not. Oh, I doubt it did. I doubt it did. Last time I had to go back. Oh God, we're gonna traumatize everybody with. Where are the filters? Oh yeah, that's right. I'll take it off for a second and we'll see. Oh, yep, still looks terrible. There we go. Still look jaundiced. So this is gonna be going for a little while longer, you know? But I still am very, very surprised that this is not just a straightforward motion to dismiss, because it would appear that they, had several grounds to file that, according to them. Oh, Lord. I should have known you'd have more. That's why I only flashed it real fast. Like, nope, still looks fucked up. That's not good. I don't like that. I rebuke that all the way out of hand. I'm not putting that out into the universe. No, we're not. I'm fortified. Oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, y'all. This is yeah. The whole thing does not I know people are just gonna be like, well, you're biased and blah 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 blah, and you don't even like J. Cole. It's not a good look. The fact that this exists and hasn't gone away is not a good look. And I understand that people with money gotta balance what you fight and what you settle, because if you look like you settle too fast or too quick, then you got everybody coming out the woodwork like, well, all I got to sue him and he's going to toss me $500,000. Let's do it. So I understand that as well. But we've definitely seen situations where a lawsuit is grand opening, grand closing, and the person who filed it dismisses it, voluntarily. And we know what that means. They came to an agreement, and therefore the lawsuit has been withdrawn. So they don't always disclose on the docket that they've come to an agreement, but we can read between the lines. Like, why would somebody who was suing somebody suddenly come onto the docket and say, I want to voluntarily dismiss my own case with prejudice, which means I will never be able to file it again if they didn't get a check from the person that they were suing. And probably a part of their agreement is to not inform the court that they've made a settlement. They don't have to. And when it's very early on in the case, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that through a lot of actually litigation time. They don't necessarily have to put an acknowledgement of a settlement on the docket because they don't want people to know. Again, I settled this because that's going to encourage people to sue you. So it's not a good look. The timing is bad. And since J. Cole don't be outside like that, and he doesn't engage in media in that way, he's not going to talk about this lawsuit because it's an ongoing lawsuit. Cameron is going to be the only one that is going to be talking about this as it is actually happening. J. Cole is going to defer, number one, to attorneys telling him, please do not. And number two, being a bitch. I said what I said. J. Cole is a flippy floppy fish when it comes to the interviews that he does do. And number two, I don't believe that he would pick somebody or agree to do an interview with somebody who's actually going to ask him hard questions instead of just letting him get his narrative off. And I'm not interested in those kinds of things. So, yeah. Wow. J. Cole is to rap what Comics Explained is to comics. If you know, you know. I mean, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm picking up what you're laying down. So, yeah, Cameron is going to be the only one who's going to be out there talking. And I'm sure he's going to hear words from his attorneys about that. And he should listen to them. I mean, it's hard because you want to speak for yourself. You have a platform to do it. This is going to get people's attention and eyes on to go watch the podcast, listen to what he says. I'm not going to be one of those people. Don't come to me the next time we talk about this and tell me all the things he said on his podcast. So I ain't watched it. I can't verify it, and it don't matter unless it winds up referenced on the docket. And the more you talk about your case publicly, the more likely the shit you say is going to wind up on the docket as entered by the other party. So, yeah, be careful. Good night, Marshall Irons. Have a wonderful evening. So, this is where we are. I ain't got nothing else to add. I ain't got nothing else to add. I'm going to go have some dinner. Good to see y'all. If you haven't, hit the like button on your way out. And I will see you again very soon.